prior to that, but that is
You have been watching
that's
Governor McMaster and state health officials give their daily update. You can watch the rest of that. We are streaming it on WSPA.com. But right now, we just so happen to have Senator Graham here live in our studios. So we wanted to drop out of that press conference and ask you, first of all, thanks for being here, sir.
I'm glad to be home. Thank you.
So we just heard right there the governor issuing a stay-at-home order talking about these non-essential businesses and shutting them down. What is your reaction? Was this the right decision?
Yeah, I think so. Why are we doing all this? To keep the virus from spreading. This is a very lethal virus. If we did nothing, you're looking at 1.5 to 2.2 million Americans dying. We lose about 50,000 a year from the flu. We could lose over 2 million in 1 year if we don't get a handle on it. Let's start with following the governor's direction and hope that a drug and a vaccine will come through sometimes in the fall to kill this thing. Until then, follow the guidelines.
I know you've been in Washington working, of course, on the stimulus bill, but back here in South Carolina, he felt some pressure to call for this stay-at-home order. He did it today, but leading up to this, did he do this too late in your estimation?
No, I think he's made a good decision based on the science. All states are not the same. We have a sort of a risk assessment, but Dr. Fauci told the president, let's go hard on containment during the spring. During the summer, I think the virus is going to get hit hard by heat and humidity. So it should slow down in the summer. Between now and the summer, let's be extra cautious. I think we can open up some of the economy in the summer, and hopefully by the fall we'll have drug therapies that make it less lethal and eventually a vaccine. That's the game plan.
I know you had a conversation with Dr. Fauci over the weekend talking about the implications of this and what could be down the pipeline as far as the coronavirus goes. Did you share that information with state leaders back here, and is that what they considered when coming up with a decision like this?
Well, I think Dr. Bell has been terrific. She's our Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brick. She's done a good job here. It's pretty clear to me that the curve is going up in South Carolina. Hopefully in New York in a couple of weeks it'll be on the downside. We're at different stages in the country. So I think we're going to have a spike in cases for another couple of weeks, and hopefully the infection rate will come down. What is turning the corner? When the infection rate goes down, not up, when you have drug therapies to make it less lethal, take it from a 10 to 1 or 2 in terms of the way it affects people, and eventually a vaccine to kill it. That's when you turn the corner.
Let's talk about testing right now here in South Carolina. The morning headline in the Post and Courier reading, labs struggle to keep up with the high volume. State and private labs here in South Carolina so backlogged that many people are having to wait a week or more. You've been very vocal about this. We got to get the wait time down to even a day potentially.
So here's some good news. Abbott Labs came out with a test that's been approved by the FDA so that you can get tested on the spot within 15 minutes get your results back. That's a game changer. The more people you test, the better able you are to deal the virus a blow. If you've had the disease and you have antibodies, you can go back to work. You're good to go. So the more people tested, the better we'll be as a nation. Now we have a test. We've got to get it out in the field that you can do on the spot. You don't need to go to the hospital or doctor's office, and you get the results back instantaneously.
It sounds like we could go to a county by county as far as opening things back up.
Exactly.
You've talked about safety first, economy second. The president says that as well.
Yeah.
Is that what we're looking at, like nationwide, county by county?
Yeah, we're going to make an assessment county by county of what the risk factors are, where's the virus compared to other places around you, and make a decision on how to open up the economy with safety first. So the game plan is for the spring to have a holding action, practice extreme social distancing, containment policies. The summer we can ease off the pedal and let the economy come back because the virus will be hit hard, I think, by humidity and heat. In the fall, hopefully have the drugs that we need to turn the corner in place by the fall, the end of the year.
Let's talk about this, the stimulus bill,
Right.
or some people call it a relief bill.
Rescue bill.
Rescue bill.
Yeah.
You were at the press conference last week with the governor after it had passed in Congress. So how soon can people start seeing those checks in the mail? What are you hearing?
Pay attention to me. You'll get a $1,200 check in the next 2 or 3 weeks if you make less than $75,000 in South Carolina, whether you pay taxes or not. If you're on Social Security, you'll get the money. If you're on disability, you'll get it. $75,000 or less, $1,200 per person, $2,400 per couple, $500 per child. That'll be here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. If you're a small business, 500 employees or less, today you can go get a loan for 2.5 times your payroll. If you keep people on the payroll, it becomes a grant that will keep you from going bankrupt. There's a lot of money for doctors and hospitals in this bill. So this bill is really going to help the economy and it's going to help fight the disease.
I know there are some things in that bill that you and other Republicans do not like. One that you've been pretty vocal about in the last couple of days is this loophole about around unemployment, saying that we are basically giving money to people to stay at home. Can you explain a little bit of what you mean by that?
So 20% of the state may be unemployed in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Just think about that. Wow. That hasn't happened since the Great Depression. To no fault of your own, you may be out of a job because of the containment policies. The governor's basically shut the economy down because the virus is so dangerous. So what you can do is go apply for unemployment benefits. The most you get in South Carolina is $326 per week. We've added $600 on top of that. My goal at the federal level is to make you whole, that you get your complete check if you're unemployed up to $50,000. What we've done, because of technology can't account for this, we're going to pay people more to be unemployed than they got when they worked. I want to make you whole, but I don't want to create an incentive for people to leave the workforce, and it makes it pretty hard to hire because under this bill you get $23 an hour under unemployment, and what I want to do is make you whole, not pay you more.
And it sounds like it's a technical issue as far as like software and things like that.
You got it.
So is there a fix to it, or is this kind of...
If you're listening out there and you can find a program to pay people their actual wages, I'll make you a hero. We sent 2 people to the moon, and in 2020 you cannot find a computer program to pay people their actual wages. The difference between $326 and what you actually make, I'm astounded. But they tell me it could be 6 to 8 weeks before you get your first unemployment check. That's unacceptable. I'm going to do everything I can working with President Trump to make sure these unemployment checks get out the door within 6 or 8 weeks. You can't go 6 weeks without money.
Yeah. All right. Senator Graham, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And we will be right back.